Hello and welcome to the Relationship Anxiety Podcast. I'm your host, Chrisenia, a certified relationship anxiety coach, and I am so happy to be with you today and talk about one of my very favorite tools for regulating emotion, and that is EFT tapping. Now, you might be like, what even is EFT tapping? I am here to teach you about it. Like I said, this is one of my very favorite tools to help myself regulate emotion and to help my clients. And the best part about it is you can do EFT tapping all by yourself. You don't even need a coach to walk you through it. It can be helpful to have a coach or a therapist walk you through like different tapping scripts, but you can totally do it by yourself. And that is really one of my favorite things about it. I have found that for the tools that we can do ourselves, like grounding and other regulation tools, this is one of the very best. And before we start, I do want to give the disclaimer that I am not an expert in EFT tapping. There will probably be people who listen to this episode who are experts and they would critique the way I do it, and that is totally okay. I am just going to teach you guys today what works for me and what I understand about it. But like I said, I'm not an expert. So if you want to learn more about it, you can totally look it up. It's called Emotional Freedom Technique Tapping, or EFT tapping for short. And it basically is a way that we help support our bodies when we're regulating emotion. So the goal of tapping isn't to get rid of the emotions we have, but it's to help support our bodies and kind of like get out of that fight or flight response. And like I said, tapping has been one of the most powerful tools I have ever used to help with my anxiety. It helps me lower the intensity of my anxiety and it has really helped me rewire my brain. So, today I want to kind of teach you a little bit about tapping, what it is, how it works, and then I want to run you through an example tapping script for relationship anxiety, specifically for the fear of choosing the wrong person. So, without further ado, EFT tapping, it basically combines acupressure with cognitive therapy. So, there are a bunch of different points on our body that we tap. And while we tap on these points, we go through the emotions that we're feeling, we create safety for them, and then we start to reframe them. And this is so helpful because it really supports our body's natural regulation pattern in that when you tap, like I said, you start by describing exactly how you feel. So that might look like saying things like, I feel really anxious right now. I feel this tight knot in my stomach. I am so afraid that my partner is the wrong person for me. I'm so afraid that I don't love my partner enough and that I am going to regret if I marry them. Right? So as I'm saying those things, they might be very triggering for you. So I'm sorry for that. But I just want to bring awareness to like the thoughts and the feelings that are so real that we have. So when we go through tapping, we start with those. We go through a whole round of tapping on specific points on our body that I will teach you. We go through a whole round of tapping where we just say exactly how we're feeling. This first round of tapping, like I said, we start by saying exactly how we feel. And that is useful because we have to learn how to accept exactly where we are, and we have to allow the emotions that we feel to be fully seen in order for them to allow us to reframe. So I kind of like to think about it as a toddler or a little kid um, who is saying something over and over. And if we just say, like, yeah, nice, or if we like kind of try to shut them down, they get louder and louder and louder. And so our emotions are similar. We have to fully allow them to express and for us to see them, for them to allow us to reframe, for them to allow us to quiet them. So the first round of tapping we go through, we say exactly what we're thinking and feeling, even if it is scary. Then the next round of tapping is all about creating safety for these thoughts and these feelings, um, which is so powerful because we often judge ourselves for the thoughts and feelings we have instead of being curious and compassionate and safe with them. Our fear of our thoughts and feelings is part of what is keeping us stuck. So that second round is all about creating safety. And then the third round is where we start to reframe some of those thoughts and beliefs that we have, and where we start to create new neural networks in our brains, which often is the part we want to jump to. We want to jump to the reframe because reframing feels really good and it's really helpful. But reframing only works when we allow ourselves to fully see the emotions and thoughts we're having and feeling and create safety for them. Then we can reframe. So that is kind of like the process. Those are the different things that we think through or talk through like out loud or like say out loud while we are tapping. And like I said, it is so, so, so powerful. Now, the different points that you tap on, I'm going to run you through them. The first one is we'll start on your left hand, and it's like a karate chop. So, like where you would do a karate chop, that's the point on your hand where you're going to tap. It's like that fleshy part underneath your pinky finger. So, you start on your left hand, we tap there, and then go to your right hand and tap on the right hand karate chop part of your hand. The next place we're going to tap is our eyebrows, kind of more towards the bridge of your nose. Tap on your eyebrows, and then the next spot is your temple. So, next to your eye. The next spot to tap is your cheekbones underneath your pupil, and then underneath your nose and above your lip. So, right between your nose and your lip. It's the next spot we'll tap on. And then it goes to underneath your lip, but like above your chin, that little curvature on your chin. And then the next spot is our collarbones, about maybe an inch or two underneath your collarbones. Um, and then a lot of people will do tapping like a couple of inches below their armpits. So you can definitely add that in. I don't usually do that one. I just wasn't taught that way. But you are welcome to add in tapping underneath your armpits a couple inches down. And we'll end by tapping on the very top of our head. So that was just like a quick run through of them. And each of these tapping points has a specific purpose. And I'm not going to get into those today, but you are welcome to look it up and study what each of those tapping points purposes, such as releasing fear or promoting clarity. A lot of the different tapping points, like I said, they have a specific thing that they help with. So if you're interested, definitely go look it up. It's so interesting. But for today, I just wanted to kind of like run you through them super quickly because I want to run you through an actual tapping script for relationship anxiety. And throughout the tapping script, I'll tell you where to tap and when to switch. But I wanted to kind of just give you a heads up of different spots that we will be tapping on today. And you can use EFT tapping for any emotion that's showing up for you. I've used it most often with anxiety and shame, but you can use it for anger, you can use it for jealousy, you can use this framework for any big emotion that comes up for you. And there are lots of different ways to use it. Now, you are welcome to listen to the rest of this podcast where I go through the tapping script. You can listen to it if you're not in a place where you can tap, and then maybe later today or tonight when you're by yourself, you can actually go through the tapping script. Or you're welcome to pause the podcast now and go home and do the tapping script. It works best when you're by yourself and you're really able to focus on doing the tapping script and not on looking silly, because I know that sometimes when we do things like this, we can feel kind of silly. And so just whenever you have time, go home, even go to the bathroom if you're at work, but you'll probably need about 5 minutes or so, I would say, to go through this whole script. And it works best if you're in a quiet place by yourself. And then the other thing that I just want to remind you is that if doing this tapping is making you feel more stressed out and more anxious, you are welcome to stop anytime you want. You do not have to listen to the whole thing. If it doesn't serve you, then you don't need to use it. So, with that said, I'll give you just a minute to kind of settle in wherever you're sitting or laying down. I just want you to find a comfortable position and take a deep breath in through your nose, blow out through your mouth, and we're just going to settle in. Now, I want you to start by tapping on the left side of your hand. You're going to use your right hand to tap on your left hand. And we're just going to open up. You're welcome to repeat the things that I say out loud or in your head, but I am just going to run you through an example tapping script, like I said, for the fear of choosing the wrong person. Okay, so start tapping on the left side of your hand, or start tapping on your left hand, and we're going to say, I am feeling really nervous and a lot of anxiety about choosing the wrong person. I am really worried that I am going to marry the wrong person. Switch to your right hand, tap on your right hand. I'm going to say, every time I think about making the wrong choice, I get this tight feeling in my stomach, this tight feeling in my chest. It feels like I just have knots all throughout my body. We'll go move to your eyebrows. Say, I am so full of this anxious tightness and the fear that I'm going to choose the wrong person to marry. I'm really nervous and really scared that I'm going to regret my decision to marry this person. Move to your temples. I'll say, I am so anxious that I am just not listening to my intuition, or that I'm just not listening to this gut feeling I have, and that something is going to go horribly wrong if I marry this person. Move to your cheekbones. We'll say, I just feel this tight feeling in my chest and in my stomach, and I'm really worried and anxious that I'm going to choose the wrong partner, that it's going to affect my life in the future and my kids' lives, and that we just won't be happy. I feel so much pressure to choose the right person. Go to underneath your nose and above your lip. Say, I feel so scared most of the day. I feel so anxious, and I even feel a little bit ashamed for feeling so anxious all the time. What is wrong with me? Go underneath your lip, above your chin, and we'll say, what if I choose the wrong person and I regret my decision later? And all of these terrible things happen. What if my kids have to go through a divorce? What if they're unhappy and I'm unhappy? What if God is trying to warn me and I'm just not listening? We'll go to underneath your collarbones. We're going to tap there and say, I am just so anxious that I'm choosing the wrong person. I feel like I might not be attracted enough to him. I feel like he just might be the wrong person for me. We'll go to the top of your head. We're going to say, I am just feeling this tight, anxious feeling in my body that I am making a wrong choice. Okay, we're going to take 2 big, deep breaths in. That was a lot. Breathe in. one more time. So that's the first round. Notice how I really just said whatever. This is how I used to think. So not what's on my mind now, but it was not very sugar coated, right? It was pretty just blunt out what I was afraid of and anxious about. And it can bring up a lot of emotion. Most of the time when I tap, I cry. So if you are feeling lots of big emotions come up, that's okay. This first round is just to look at all of those feelings. The next round we're going to do is to create safety for yourself. So we're going to start tapping on your left hand again, and we're going to say, it is safe for me to feel all of these things. It is okay that I feel them. Go to your right hand, and we'll say, it is safe for me to feel this tight, anxious feeling in my body. This tightness in my chest, this tight ball in my stomach. It's just a sensation in my body, and it is safe to feel it. We're going to go to your eyebrows. We'll say, even though this feeling can feel a little bit overwhelming, I am capable of feeling it. I felt it before and I survived, and I am going to survive this time too. I am capable of feeling this emotion. We'll go to your temples. We're going to say, it is okay for me to wonder and worry that I'm marrying the wrong person. It's okay for me to have all of these thoughts about what ifs in the future. It's just my brain trying to protect me. And I'm so grateful for my brain trying to help me. We'll tap underneath your eyes on your cheekbones. We'll say, it is okay for me to feel this. It's safe to feel this way, and it is safe for me to have all of these thoughts. It's really easy for me to be afraid of the thoughts and to judge the thoughts, but it is totally okay for them to be here. It doesn't mean anything has gone wrong. We'll go between your nose and your lip and say, it's okay for me to worry about choosing the wrong person. I accept these thoughts and these feelings. I know that my brain is just trying to protect me, and I am safe right now. We're going to go on your chin and say, these thoughts and feelings are not who I am. They are just thoughts that I am having and feelings that I am experiencing, and they're safe to feel. These are just thoughts and just sensations in my body. We'll go to beneath your collarbones. We're going to say, I am capable of feeling anxiety right now. And I'm learning how to support myself when I feel anxious. I'll go to the top of your head. We're going to say, thank you, body. Thank you, brain. I am safe right now. I hear you. I hear you trying to warn me, but I am here to tell you that I am safe right now. It's okay for me to feel all of these things and have all of these thoughts. We're going to take a big deep breath in, and one more. And I just want you to notice, before we go on to our third round, what's going on in your body. There is no right answer. Your anxiety might feel tighter and it might feel looser. Our goal right now is just to support you in whatever is going on and whatever the sensation is. That round probably did feel a little bit better than the first round, though. Our last round through, we're going to go through all of the tapping points one more time. We're going to start to reframe and form some new neural networks in your brain. So we'll start tapping on your left hand. We're going to say, again, it is safe for me to feel these things. These thoughts and these feelings are not me. We're going to go tap on your right hand. We're going to say, anxiety is allowed to be here, but it doesn't get to be in control. I get to be in control of my life, and I can create a beautiful life, even with anxiety riding in the passenger seat. Anxiety just doesn't get to drive. We're going to go to our eyebrows, and we're going to say, maybe it's possible that there are many right people for me to marry. Maybe who I marry and my fear about who to marry says more about me than it does about my partner. Go to your temples. And we're going to say, there is not perfect certainty when choosing a partner, and that's okay. No one feels 100% certain, even if they say they do. We'll go to your cheekbones. We're going to say, I am learning how to make confident decisions. And I am learning how to support myself and allow myself to grow. We'll go to underneath your nose. And we're going to say, my partner is allowed to be imperfect and they can still be lovable. They can still be a fantastic partner, even if they're not perfect. They are allowed to not be perfect and to still be loved. We'll go underneath on your chin. We'll say, I am allowed to be imperfect and still be loved. My lovability has nothing to do with whether or not I am perfect. The ability to grow in a relationship is far more important than where we are right now. Go to underneath our collarbones. We're going to say, I might not be 100% certain about who to marry, and it's possible that that's okay, and that I can still create a beautiful, loving relationship when I have faith instead of certainty. Faith does not live when there's certainty. In fact, the opposite of doubt is not faith. The opposite of doubt is certainty. And it's okay for me to be uncertain and still move forward with faith. Go to the top of your head. We're going to say, I am so thankful for my brain and for my body for trying to protect me and trying to help me. But I get to be the driver in my life. And I am choosing to create a beautiful life, even if it is a little bit messy. Take a big deep breath in, and one more big deep breath. Now I want you to check in with your body, see how you're doing, see how you're feeling, and just really slowly come back to this present moment that we're in. Maybe feel the chair underneath you or the ground beneath your feet. Maybe give yourself a squeeze, look around the room. I just want to come back to this present moment that we're in. And I'm hopeful that this tapping exercise was helpful for you. Sometimes when we are first learning how to regulate emotions, it can be really exhausting. So make sure that you take care of yourself after doing this. Drink a lot of water, so much water. And remember to be extra gentle with yourself today. But like I said, this tapping tool you can use anytime you want. And there might have been things I said in there that resonated with you. And if so, pick those out. If some of the things didn't resonate, you can leave them behind. You have permission to just take what works for you. And when you do these tapping scripts for yourself, you can come up with other things that maybe feel a little bit more like they resonate with you. This was just a really general tapping script, so not all of it might have resonated with you, but that's okay. And just to remember that when you do the rounds, the first round is to acknowledge exactly how you're feeling. Second round is to create safety. And the third round is when we start to rewire our brains. And you will most likely feel a little bit better, a little bit more regulated after you do this tapping script. But even if you don't, that's okay. The goal of this is just to learn how to support ourselves in big emotion. You are doing an incredible job. Please reach out to me if you have any questions about this. You can find me on Instagram or Facebook at Cresenia Claire Coaching. And I'll drop my email in the show notes here too if you'd rather email. But if you have any questions about this, please reach out to me. I would love to help you and help tailor it to you. Or if you want to practice doing this with me, I offer free consult coaching calls. So I'll leave the link to that in the notes, the show notes. But you are doing an amazing job. You've got this, and I am so proud of you. Have a lovely week. and I will talk to you soon. Bye.